Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Mishima, a life in 4 chapters. And this is part of the Filmstagram Movie Club, so this is one of our underappreciated, unsung films that we're checking out. And this is from the 1980s, and this is from writer-director Paul Schrader, who has an interesting career. He has written some of Scorsese's most challenging and impactful films, whether it was Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and The Last Temptation of Christ. He has films like Affliction and First Reformed, which, my God, Affliction. If you have never watched that film, that is a tough film to watch. With Nick Nolte, James Coburn, just devastatingly, emotionally taxing film. And then First Reformed is a really ambitious and powerful film with Ethan Hawke right at the center of it. And this film is focusing on the life of Yukio Mishima, who was a very, very influential and famous famous writer from Japan, and he's a man who committed seppuku and killed himself. And this film is about that day of leading up to him acting on these military traditions and honor and going into this place and taking it over. And you see 4 big chapters of his life told through his own works, represented visually in the film. This film is an ambitious art house film. Schrader doesn't play it easy, ever. And I think this film can be a bit alienating. There's definitely times where it's like, I appreciated the art going on, but I was a little disconnected from what the story was trying to come across and really try to say. But in general, this is a powerful and ambitious and just deep and textured film. And you have each of these stories presented in absolutely amazing art, visually, with just the colors, the design, how everything is set up, visually how it's created. The production design in this film is A+. The coloring with the cinematography from John Bailey is breathtaking. It is a beautiful film. And as a cinephile, I could sit there and appreciate it, even if I wasn't quite sure how it was all coming together and really collating together into a standing story. I could sit there and appreciate these different sections with this beautiful art brought to life and brought into motion. And Bailey does such a great job with that. And then you have your composer, Philip Glass, and who has done different scores like The Illusionist and worked on The Truman Show in the music department, different things like that. It is a beautiful score and moving. And both of those things create such a beautiful art house feel to this film. And you're just engrossed into what you're watching. And the cast, you have right at the center of it Ken Ogata, who plays Mishima. And throughout this film is very intense, has a very powerful performance, all the way up to those closing moments where what happens, happens. And there's just an intensity and a pride in this performance and a will that is unshakable. And even when you see his men shaking and trembling at the thought of what they have to do, Mishima, with Ogata's performance, really commits to it. And it is intense, it's hard to watch. They allude to what this is going to happen through some of the 4 chapters that lead up to this point in these different stories that are adapted visually. And you allude to it, you build up that moment, and when that moment finally comes between Schrader's direction, Bailey's cinematography, Glass's score, everything just rushes together. Ogata's performance, it is moving, it is terrifying to watch, and just nails it. And hits this amazing exclamation point on a film that I'm going to be sitting here thinking about for days, because this is a beautifully artistic film with a lot of layers and a lot to say. And I honestly think I need to unpack it more to maybe appreciate it as much as I possibly can. But for now, these performances are very strong. The story may be a little overstuffed, might be a little too ambitious in trying to thread all these different ideas together, but how it's visually presented with the music laying underneath all of it, this is an emotional and an impactful experience and a cinematic experience for all of the cinephiles out there worth taking. This might not be for the mainstream audiences who want a more straightforward and accessible plot and story, but for someone who's going to appreciate this as an art form, I think Schrader's film is something worth checking out and impactful. And boy, is it go out with a bang, and that is for sure. But those are my thoughts on Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. And show this film some love. Got to watch it on the Criterion channel. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.